What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So before anybody be like, "Goddamn, girl, it's still light outside," and how you get this video up real quick, this episode of Insecure, they put it on all the HBO Nows and the HBO Go apps early on Friday. Okay, so I'm recording on a Friday instead of Sunday, which works perfectly. So now I got my Sunday to my goddamn self, bitch. I come home, everything gonna be all the way up. Anyway, fuck that. This is another cute episode. It's called Fresh Light. This is Insecure season 3, episode 4. So in this episode, we see that Issa has finally, you know what y'all need to do? Y'all need to go listen to the podcast Insecurity, okay? And not insecurity like insecurity with a Y, but Insecurity, TEA, okay? With Crystal and Hey Friend Hey. Because a lot of their predictions, which they've been saying for the past 3 weeks, have kind of came true in this episode, all right? Um, a lot of people really wasn't here for this whole relationship with Daniel and Issa, meaning that them sleeping together, staying together, they needed some time away from each other. It's too much history. It was a temptation. If Issa's trying to be on this up and up and on this better path than what she been going and trying to do better for herself, you have to let some things go that's kind of been fucking with you. And Daniel was one of those. Now, as for whether or not Daniel is going to still be in the show this season, I'm not sure, because this episode, we see the way that Daniel tried to, last week, I should say, Daniel kept trying to say, I like it when you're here and all this stuff. It just feels right. But then you insulted her. Then you tried to make it up by trying to fuck her. She said no. I still would have got that nut and then said no, but okay. And she was like, this just doesn't feel right after all of that shit that went down. And so it just got weird. The relationship got weird. And we see it kind of veering off course. And this was the time where Issa should have just jumped off. And she did exactly that. When we start this episode off, we see that Issa has found a new mirror. New mirror bitch, okay? The new mirror bitch is in her new apartment that she's paying $750 for because she took that apartment management job. Thank God she did, for the simple fact that, she needed to take a breath away from Daniel. She really did. So that if she gonna truly try to get her life together, she needed to, eliminate a main distraction. And he was one of her main distractions. Okay. And he was part of the past as well too. So with that being said, I think they're still going to be friends, but I don't know if a relationship is going to happen the way that some people probably wanted it to. She's in the mirror, she's doing her little rap and everything. All right, mirror bitch and all this shit. I was like, yes, the mirror raps her back. Then she get interrupted by a knock at the door, and it's Daniel bringing over some of her stuff. It's the last of her stuff. And when she said, "Mirror bitch, don't go nowhere, I'll be right back." And then the mirror said, "Bitch, where I'm gonna go?" That shit was funny to me. I don't know why. But, they said their little last goodbyes for the moment, I guess. And I don't know. Daniel, how do you read that relationship? Do you think it's over, or do you think, they're just taking a breather to just figure things out, and whatever happens, happens? We see him runs into Molly coming in too, and it was like, "You out? You finished?" And he was like, "Bye, Molly." Okay, bye, Daniel. You know, um, we already knew that Molly didn't really fuck with Daniel like that in the past. We seen that in the first episode, not the first episode, the first season, towards the end of the first season, when Daniel first came back into the picture. She really wasn't here for him like that. We never really got the complete history as to why Molly didn't really wasn't here for Daniel. Besides the fact that at the time Issa was with Lawrence, so that's that. But Molly being in there helping her out, trying to help her figure out what the fuck she needs to keep and what she don't need to keep. Issa got Adele mixtape. Issa got mixtapes that Lawrence gave her. Issa got bubble bath that she ain't never gonna use. First of all, she ain't got no tub. And just talking about life and talking about how Molly's still being stuck up about this whole job. That was like, bitch, you being a little bit choosy or whatever. Let me just pause, okay? Aretha Franklin, it is now 5:01 my time, and I'm recording this. This Aretha Franklin funeral is still on. This preacher Reverend Jasper Williams Jr. has been talking over 30 minutes. I have the TV on mute. I'm still watching, but I have the TV on mute. I just want to throw that out there. 5:01 p.m. Okay? Okay. Anyway, moving on from that, she was just talking. If you trying to move forward in the future and get your present together and all this stuff, you can't be looking back in the past. Throw that shit away. And we see one scene where she was trying to throw stuff away, and then she kind of not threw it away like the bubble bath. In the midst of her talking to Molly, they get a knock at the door. This girl Trina come to the door talking about some squirrels in the wall. Come do something. You hear that? They getting that making babies. Come do something about it. I said, damn, bitch, calm the fuck down. Okay, so this is part of being the apartment management manager. You have to go see what's going on with all these issues that may occur, and you have to be on call all the time. We see that Molly, hold on. Let me just get to Issa for a second. Issa, she's at work, and we already know that Issa is feeling some type of way about being at work. Issa probably, I feel like Issa has a passion to work with children, but with music, and that's also her passion. And that's why when she was at the job fair, that little beat crew, whatever it was, with those kids that was dancing, dressed up in the La Coco Dia de la Muertes mask and stuff, face painting, and they was up there doing their thing. It seems that she was drawn to that because it's two of the things that she is passionate about. They was like, what do you like? And we clearly see, obviously, that she has to have a passion for children and seeing their well-being, because why would you stay in a job not just for the money? Because she could have had, either she could have just went on ahead and found another job, or she just conveniently staying at this job just because she's lazy. But I also feel as though that she stayed at We Got Y'all because it is dealing with the children and helping reach out to them as well. And that was part of what the B Crew thing was, whatever it's called. They're dealing with children. And then it's also incorporating another passion of hers, like I said, music, and not just the hip-hop music and the R&B music, but opening up these children's eyes to the arts, that there are many different genres of music and stuff like that, and dance and all of that. So it's speaking to her. We saw her last week just keep on looking at the website as if she was going to fill out an application or go down there in person or whatever. And so this time we see her and We Got Y'all, and she's still at her desk, and Frida comes over and said, hey, guess what? I finally got Joanne finally put you back in the field. And she was like, cool, cool. If you notice the way that Issa responded, she was just like, okay, that's what's up. Not necessarily like, oh my God, I'm so glad. I can't wait to get out there in the field. I can't wait to do this. I can't. She was just like, all right, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? It was no enthusiasm. It was no real excitement or whatever, that as if she thought it would be. And so, she goes off to go get lunch. Um, Baby, when she go get lunch, she had ordered a salmon taco, baby. And it was, that shit looked like it was hot, it was ready, it was, just good to go. She opens that bitch up and gets startled by somebody calling saying, hey, party live. And it's Nathan, the guy who fought that big nigga in the car, who called her and Molly bitches for talking about him rolling up the weed and shit. She dropped her taco. This is the second time we done seen Issa order some tacos from some truck, and drop it. In the first season, she dropped that taco when she was trying to eat it with Molly, okay? And then this season, we see her drop this taco too. And so to see Nathan comes in, it's like, oh, wow. You look at it, Issa got potentials coming in left and right. Because what if she go to the B Crew thing, get hired by them? You see how she was enamored by the passion that the guy who was the head of it, how he was. What if she has some type of connection with him or whatever? Then you have Daniel still on her tip. Then you got Nathan coming through, and I said, Issa, you better get it in, okay? Like Issa, but then again, I say she better get it in, but it's Issa, and it's like, how's she gonna juggle all this stuff? Okay, Issa up there talking to him, and we find out that he's from Texas. He's here from the hurricanes, and he was like, fuck it, I might as well I always wanted to come to LA. Let me just come up here and see what it's about. Some people may not understand it, but let me just see. And we see them just go on this excursion through LA because he's always talking shit about LA so slow. Bitch, when they went up there to order them tacos, and he ordered like 3-4 tacos plus the taco that Issa dropped or whatever, which was cool that he didn't have no problems with paying that. And then they gonna say it's gonna be like an hour or so wait, so let's leave your number so I can call you when it's done. I said, what the fuck? See, this is why people go to cheap ass Taco Bell, because that should be done like that, okay? Listen, I said an hour plus, I gotta leave my number and everything. And then, in the midst of them talking or whatever, he was talking about how people in LA are so flaky about stuff. And they was supposed to be going somewhere. And she kept on getting, text messages from her people. You got one for Frida talking about coming over there to the job so she can talk to her about her placement at 3 o'clock. And then she got someone from somewhere else. And then later on, she had got a text message from, I think, Tiffany or one of her girls asking about the Coachella house. They get it and all that stuff because they supposed to be going in Coachella. I cannot wait to see. I have a feeling episode 5 is going to probably be the funniest episode this season because they are going to Coachella, all right? And it's this Coachella that just went past because they talking about Beyonce, Migos, Cardi B, and all of them that was there. And so when they seen that preview and Kelly had popped that goddamn edible, bitch, I cannot wait. But anyway, so she just wound up going around LA with Nathan, or Nansford as she calls him, and they're eating and playing truth or dare, going to different neighborhoods, and he talking about how the hoods up here in LA looking different from the hoods up in Texas or whatever. This ain't no real hood. Y'all hoods got manicure lines and palm trees and shit like that. No fucking lie. When he brought that shit up, I have always thought about that. I said for every time I saw a hood, when I think of hoods, for some reason I think of rundown stuff. I'm just saying, especially the way that they make it with urban in the urban community, rundown stuff, project buildings and shit like that, because that's how it looks sometimes out here in Chicago. On certain parts, you have your little project buildings, you have your little couple of houses missing on the block or whatever, your little trap house there or there. But then the neighborhood that you always see some of these neighborhoods in LA that's supposed to be the hood, and they're like houses on each block, like manicure lawns, and it don't even look all bad as shit until the lights go out and then all the shooting start. That's how it be. So I was like, we thinking on the same page, Nathan. But it was like, okay, scream out, King Kong ain't got shit on me. And when he did that, that girl said, shut up, my baby up in here trying to sleep. That shit was hilarious to me for some reason. And then, we see Chaz Billboard on the bench. And it was like, what the fuck is up with this nigga with a Bluetooth? Who he calling on a Bluetooth through the bench? Like, that shit was funny. It was like, he looked corny as fuck. Then they go to see where Issa grew up at. Her home. At this big house. And, she gives a little background saying how the parents, they lived there, I guess, since she was 16. That parents, broke up and got a divorce when she was 16, and that's right when they got the pool. And so therefore, after they got divorced, they couldn't even get in the pool well enough. So she was like, damn, can you stay together for the kids and stuff like that? And he dared them to go back there and get in the pool. They went and trespassed on this property that's no longer Issa's, which never was Issa, it was her parents, and playing around by the pool. She was like, okay, it's your turn, because they was playing truth or dare. And he was like, okay, dare. She said, I dare you to get in the pool. And he was like, okay, cool. Naked. He was like, what? So he went on ahead and did it. And then he dared her to do the same thing. Bitch, you a stranger. I don't know you like that. But eventually they did it, okay? So they both in the pool bucket naked, but nobody touched anybody. They was just sitting there talking about stuff. And we get his history. We get her history. Next thing you know, this white man come out and said, hey, honey, call the police. And they hurried up and got up out that pool. Bitch, when Issa slipped, I said, girl, I knew one of them was going to slip up. Okay. And so They went back to go get them tacos. The tacos was cold as shit. And she was like, I got mind you, Issa had called Frida and told her, "Hey Frida, you know what? I can't come in right now because I don't feel good." "Oh no, are you serious?" "Yes, I'm serious. So I'll talk to you tomorrow about the placement." And Nathan was looking like, "Oh, so it's like that?" She was like, "Hell yeah." So they go to her apartment to heat up the tacos and to eat and to further their little communication. And you can see that there is a vibe and there's chemistry or whatever. And next thing you know, they talking, and then they reach in and they start kissing and shit. Cause she was asking about, his last relationship, and he had asked her about how long her last relationship was, and she started talking about Lawrence and how she cheated. And I'm glad that she was upfront and said that she cheated and he didn't deserve that. And then, he was saying how Houston girls just fine with being in Houston or whatever, and he didn't have a relationship that ever was that long, whatever. He is finally off the podium, girls. I said, shit, bitch. He was up there for damn near an hour, okay? And I don't know what the fuck he was talking about because the TV is on mute. But anyway, moving on from that, they start kissing, and right before anything else further can happen, they get a knock at the door, and it's this little boy talking about something. "My mama said that y'all went on ahead and changed the locks to our doors. Why did y'all do that?" She was like, "I didn't change no locks." "Yes, you did." "Ooh, what y'all in here doing? Kissing and eating tacos?" "Ooh." Little kids. And she was like, "I'll get back with you in a second." And they closed the door, and he was like, "I guess this is my cue and my time to go." And so when Nathan's opened back up the door, the little boy is still right there. "My mama said not to leave." I can't stand not no kids like that. He remind me of Roscoe from Martin. Okay, that shit was hilarious. But now we see that Issa got a potential new boo in the picture, and we see her go back to work the next day. And Frida comes over there because they were just talking about their passions and stuff too in that conversation that she was having with Nathan. And she said she likes us with the music and the kids and all of that. And so when she goes back to We Got Y'all, and you hear Frida about to told her where her new outfit was going to be at, or her new station was going to be at in the field. Is that Miss Gladys Knight? All right, Gladys. Same name. Okay, because I heard it through the grapevine. No, um. Anyway, so when they said all that, Frida gave her the new where she's supposed to be stationed at a new school, and she was like, "You know what? I can't do this." And Frida was like, "What you talking about?" I'm just not feeling it anymore, and therefore I quit." And I said, "Shit. I hope she got money saved up. How she gonna pay her rent? How much is the apartment management thing paying her? Like, I don't know. Girl, I'm scared for Issa right now. I really am, because I felt as though she probably should have waited until she because she still got to pay rent. She got to pay $750 rent at the apartment that she's at, even though she's the manager of the apartment. So is that being paid out of the pay that they pay her? Do she got savings saved up? I would have waited until I had a job, a more secure job in my pocket too. I don't know. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about her just, you know, quitting right then and there. But I understood that it was coming. It was building up that it was coming. Um, so we see that, and Frida was just looking like, what? And then we see Issa just walking out. But let's get to Molly. Molly is back at work, and she's still dealing with the whole thing about, trying to fit into this black law firm. She's feeling like she's left behind, and we see this meeting that she was having, and she could barely offer any input before this dude Torian comes in and started saying things, and he was being a little cocky and arrogant with it. And she was talking to the girls there, trying to ease into the conversation without saying something that may offend about old boy until they broke the ice and said, "Yeah, Morehouse house don't teach modesty. And they was like, okay, I thought it was just me. I was like, girl, no, he always like that and whoop-de-woo. So they kind of, get together. And before that, we see that Molly's still going to her therapist. And the therapist was like, why do you always feel like you have to be the best and you have to be number one and all this stuff? How come you just can't be a team player? So she come through and she was trying to offer help on one of the cases that the two women were going helping each other on, and they was like, okay, cool. So later on, excuse me, we thinking that she getting the message, and come to find out, she didn't offer to help with Torian to do something because they was like, hey, so you want to stay tonight and help us with this? Or she was like, no, I can't do it. Not tonight. It was like, okay, well, we can do the weekends. And we see Torian come out saying, you ready to go? Let's go. Talking to Molly. So she's helping him and them, and it's like she's still looking out for herself. Okay, she's still trying to be on the winning team in the office. Okay, and that kind of made the women look at her different. You saw how they was a little hurt, looking at her like, oh, so you one of those type, you gonna go whichever way the wind blows, huh? Whoever on the top branch, that's what you trying to do. Because she did say she was trying to get, from the reason why she left one law firm and this one was because of the boys club antics and stuff like that, and she was still seeing that a little bit in the new firm. So now she's doing exactly what she did in the old firm. Remember when she was trying to cozy up and she went on that hockey game to try to see what was going on with the boys and all that stuff, to show her worth? She's doing the same thing with them. Half the freaking funeral procession then gone. Like the thing is empty in the back. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry, y'all. Um, so that wound up happening, and now it's just gonna see how that tension and how her relationship is gonna be with the people in her office once again, and how she felt like it's like she tried to dig herself out of one hole to fit in, but then she dig herself into another hole. So it's just a lot. This episode was cute. I like that. What y'all think's gonna happen with Daniel and Issa? What y'all think's gonna happen with Issa and Nathan? What y'all think gonna happen with Molly at her job? Did you agree with Issa? It was coming. It was coming. But I just hope that it don't bite her in the ass. But I'm looking forward to next week's episode because I can't wait to see them at Coachella acting up. But y'all tell me how y'all feel about it, and I will see y'all later. Peace.